Welcome to Crowning Connections with Rob Clemons. It is International Women's Month. So a big focus of this month is we want to talk about powerful women in business and powerful women in general. But so nobody better to have with me than Lesley Hill from SunCoast Gutters. Welcome. And we are happy to have you on the show today.
Yeah, they're all powerful.
All powerful. I mean, you really are like lightning bolts shoot out of your hands half the time. And when you're not doing gutters, you're like fighting crime on the weekends and stuff.
That's right. I live in downtown Conway, so.
Well, yeah. Well, you know, they're doing pretty good though.
They
law
are. They're
enforcement
getting better. Oh, they're the best.
It really is.
They
It's a
are
good
the
group.
best.
They're like LAPD.
Yeah, actually, it's funny you should say that because I was just telling somebody this morning that I'm going to send Chief Long a acknowledgement letter that I've noticed some things in the last several months about downtown Conway, and that I'm really seeing an amazing effort on on their part. So it's pretty cool.
I think that is cool, and you really got to talk about this stuff because sometimes they're making these little improvements behind the scenes, and people just don't see it. And just a simple thank you goes a long way.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, Lesley, I've known you for a number of years. I mean, we've been going to Home Builders Association meetings and all this stuff for a long time. But for those the two or three people who don't know who you are in the world, tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into gutters.
Well.
You know what's gonna be good when she's laughing.
In the gutter, out of the gutter. Actually, it's interesting. I met my husband when I was 17 and married him when I was 19. And my husband, Daryl, who is my vice president and business partner and has been my marital partner and business partner now, will be 36 years technically.
One thing I need to know. He's the vice president. Who is the president?
Me.
All right, just want to make sure we set the stage properly.
That's right. I told you the powerful.
It's International Women's Month.
That's
this is why you're not no vice president. You're president. All right.
And I'll tell you, and really for the first, we actually reincorporated about 10 years ago and changed some things because at that time we were doing shower shelving mirrors and some things like that. Right. But that is when actually Daryl. We were sitting in a lawyer's office and we were reincorporating the company, and he looks at me. We'd always been 50-50, and he looked at me and he goes, I want you to have the company. And I said, what do you mean have the company? And he said, well, I want you to have controlling interest. And our accountant at the time said, that's a good idea because be a female owned and operated business. He said, you do a great job. I like the way you handle things. My job is out in the field. That's my expertise. That's his wheelhouse.
Oh, yeah?
He said, this is not my wheelhouse. He said, so I'll take 49, you do 51. You could have knocked me over with a feather. I still get teary-eyed talk about it because I couldn't believe that he had put that kind of, that kind of faith in me.
Yeah, for sure.
And like I said, we've been together for a long, long time. Daryl is it's really hard. A lot of people can't believe that we run a subcontracting company together and that we've been married and we have a happy marriage.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
We never are apart. I mean, that's why I have to have a big house.
Right. You live in a 40,000 square foot house. So, right.
Sometimes everybody's like, you stay upstairs, he stays upstairs, and you stay downstairs. I said, well, we got to have
somewhere in there.
We got to, but now we still sleep together and all that. But at night, sometimes I'd like to do my thing at night, and I watch my shows, and he watches his shows upstairs. But yeah, so it was really, really sweet. I thought of him, and it made me really feel good about the fact. And my husband, I will say this, he really is good about giving women their due. I mean, he's all for anything I've ever wanted to do in life. He said, go for it, knock yourself up. Just don't ask me to come.
Yeah.
That's what he'll say.
Just don't ask me to come to the whatever the event you're going to is.
Exactly.
Well, now, and I'll say this. I know Daryl a little bit, and he's the can-do guy.
Yeah.
He can do anything with his hands.
Oh, yeah.
Make anything happen on the gutters and everything.
Just over the weekend, he just replaced the whole porch on our over 100-year-old home.
Whoa.
He just replaced the whole porch. in one day.
In one day.
And stained it.
Man, I mean, I gotta tell you, he's a good husband to have around,
Yes,
right?
he is.
But I know you guys well enough to know he's like the, fix anything guy and do all that stuff. And you are the marketing wing and the people person and all that good stuff. So
He's
it's a
quiet.
good tandem. He is a little bit more
he's
quiet.
Really, really, really good looking. He has beautiful blue eyes, but he's really quiet.
He's dreamy.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that we've established that.
I know, right? Funny.
Well, so that's cool. So you guys got into the business and he gave you the 51, and I think that's a great call on his half. So then you've established this great business and you guys have been around doing great things for a long time. Let's go back to the HBA stuff. Home Builders Association, for those who don't know.
Best money ever spent.
Yeah.
That is a great group.
Well, that's how we met each other years ago. And we collaborated a lot, and we've given each other business a lot. So you can see how it works out. Tell me, why did you get into the Home Builders Association in the first place?
Well, to be honest with you, I know you guys are celebrating your 15.
Yeah, 15.
Woo-hoo!
Big 1-5.
I'm so excited for y'all. We actually will be 25 years this coming year.
I mean, not to brag or anything, but
well, let me tell you what.
Wow.
So this is the funny thing. I was offered. I had Tammy Elvis, a friend of mine, had been trying to get me to join the chamber in Conway, and they were involved in in the HBA, and so and had tried for years. And for me to do it, and I just said, I don't have time for that. I was raising my children. My daughter was in pageants at the time, and I was one of those notorious pageant moms. I was actually even on a reality show for a short stint about all that. That's a whole other story for another day.
Oh no, we're circling back around.
We're circling back. Okay, all right. But anyways, and so I was super busy raising my children and running the company. So I just felt like it was one thing I just didn't have time for. So let me just say though. Dumb. Yeah. I wished I had done it years ago. I think I've been in now for actually might be having our anniversary coming up in there. I think I've been in there almost 10 years now.
Wow.
But it was just awesome. It's been an awesome opportunity for the very minute that I got in it. I joined for the very reasons everybody else joins, for networking and to be part of a community of subcontractors and contractors, and then also the networks now we just branch right out.
Definitely.
We've got realtors, we've got other companies, we've got all kinds of printing companies, and like you said, people who have marketing tools. I mean, it's just
yeah.
So I'm so glad that I'm in that. Like I said, I would have done it years ago if I'd known.
A lot of people usually ask me when they're coming to the first meeting, they're like, how do I maximize this? And I always say the same thing. It's like you have to get involved, and I noticed that with you early on. You got into a committee, and when you get into the committee, you get to meet other people.
That's right.
And then you work together a little bit more. And now when you go to the meetings, you actually know people.
I think at one time I was chairman of like 6 committees.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And a little known fact is you're super, super shy. So when you go to them,
right?
Yeah, right.
Probably not.
I don't think you ever met anybody you don't know, but yeah. So, but no. So it's been great, and we kind of have been on board, served together.
And you and I, if you notice, if anytime anybody has to speak at a meeting, they always come to Rob or I to ask to do the speaking and the ramping up of everybody.
I know, it's a lot of pressure, Sometimes I just want to go in and just like have a cup of coffee and
relax.
Listen, and then it's like, Rob, what do you think?
Yeah.
And then I'm like,
and then we have to stand up and be cute.
Yeah, I know, which is my specialty.
Yeah,
so
me too.
I mean, that's it. Right. But, all right, so you said
we're just cute together.
Yeah, and then it's just magic
and
whatever.
It is.
So let's circle back around. You said something that I think I'd like to hear more about. So your daughter with the pageants.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about being like how you guys got into that, because I think you said she was part of that reality show.
Oh yeah,
right?
absolutely. She was actually part of the pilot.
Okay.
And from that, she ended up doing a lot of things. She ended up going to California. She did a lot of magazine covers and that sort of thing. And she's actually back. Ended up in Knoxville, Tennessee, where she worked under, was a manager for a bunch of sport clip corporations, and she ended up being a regional and doing all this stuff. And then she came back, and she's here now, and she opened up Dapper Downtown, which is a little barbershop. Well, I say barber. It's a men's salon, because she's not a barber. She's a cosmetologist and massage therapist.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, really cute little place, and she's doing that now. But yeah, so we did that, and that was interesting, because that's because if anybody says that pageants aren't political, they are.
Oh, man.
And that's kind of when I started looking into the politics of things
Okay.
and kind of, you know, seeing how things work. And during that time, a lot of she actually was doing Donald Trump's pageant. At the time, he owned the pageant system. She was in the Miss USA system.
Did she meet Trump?
Yes, she did. We actually went to California to Miss Teen USA.
Okay.
And they actually, Ivanka, all of them were sitting on the front row. So, you know, we have met them.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely, yeah.
Now, what's he like in person? Let me guess. He's
Very
like
cool.
super sweet. And
He's so cool.
No, really?
He's just
Okay,
very
cool.
My daughter loves him. In fact, she'll tell you he's opened up so many doors for so many young women in the world, and obviously very, very, very nice family. And I know he can be crass and he can just tell it like it is, and some people don't like that personality. But you know, when you weigh out the good and the bad, there's a way more good than there is bad there. But we all have a little bad and a little good, right?
100%. Yeah.
Hey, listen, I could be a real pain in that.
No, that is. I don't believe that for 1 second.
Oh, my husband calls me the B word at least once a month. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, the B word. That would be
B word at least once a month. But you have to remember that we work together.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, that's true. The fact that you guys work together. I'm surprised.
I allow it one time.
Yeah, that's true. It's kind of rough. What's the name of the reality show? Just in case anybody.
It was called King of the Crown.
King of the Crown.
And it came on after Toddlers and Tiaras.
Okay.
And I think there used to be, Netflix used to have it. And I don't know, and I think, I'm not really sure, my daughter could tell me who all has it now.
Yeah.
But if you Google it, you'll see it, and you'll see my daughter and I on there, and it's quite entertaining. It's pretty funny.
So you're a pageant mom.
Oh, yeah. I was.
Is this a fair representation of pageant moms? You're standing back in the crowd and you're kind of like doing the, turn now, girl. Is it like one of those things? I mean,
for me, I usually had Kaylee ready when she got there so that I could go in and sit down and be cool.
Okay. So you
because
can just
me,
sit
Rob.
back.
I like to be cool.
All right. Oh, I do know you're cool. Like you
it's
probably
really
just
important.
Were you back there just like drinking a cup of tea and just kind of like, this is going well?
Actually, a tea, and then I had my flask.
Oh yeah, your flask, but you don't.
Pocketbook.
No alcohol in it. She's just doing it for the effect.
Yeah, I was like, I always carried a big purse.
Yeah,
and I had Mama's little helper in there.
Oh right. That's good. Good to know. Good tips to know for the people.
So funny.
So as far as now, when she's doing the pageants, was there any time that you felt like, and so I just want to get into the life of this. Was there any time where you were like, man, she got robbed? I think like the judges are totally
all the time.
All the time.
Yeah, a lot, and that happens to not only her.
Yeah.
But I saw other girls get robbed.
Really?
Yeah, it just happens sometimes.
Political.
And yeah, I'm telling you, it is. There's a way to play games, guys, and I'm gonna tell you something. And this is what I've learned, and I've learned it very young in life because if you ask me about my resume, it'd be crazy. It would take all day. I've done a lot of stuff, and in my life, a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And one thing I have learned, take away from this, ladies, is this: there is always a game to be played, and it's whoever plays it the best wins. End of the day. That's just the way it rolls.
That's a good tip. That's a good tip. All right. So I want to hear more about that. But before we move on, I need to know one good pageant mom tip. Because I've heard about Vaseline on the teeth. I've heard about are these wives' tales? Like tell us something that people need to know.
A pageant mom's tip.
Is
the
it
best one?
Yeah. Don't use too much bronzer.
If I had to learn anything, this is a good one.
Okay.
If you're a pageant mom and you're a mother with a daughter, obviously, then you need to remember this. Love her, make sure she's having a good time, and remind her every time she goes out on the stage of how beautiful she is and that it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, it's only 3 or 4 people's opinion of them.
Yeah.
And that's not the opinion of the world. And that is something I really took away from that.
Man, super cool advice. And I think, honestly, you could probably apply that to more than just pageants, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, your son plays football.
National
Do I
Women's
enjoy
Month.
Yeah, exactly.
I would tell that to any woman that walks into an interview or anything. Just remember, that's that person's opinion of you. It doesn't mean that's going to be the next person's opinion of you.
Absolutely.
And I also believe God opens and shuts doors in your life. And, if somebody shuts the door on you, don't run after them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Bye-bye. See ya.
Yeah, it's a blessing when they did. Yeah,
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Good points. Hey, so let's go back into, talking about politics, right?
Yeah.
You and I have talked about this before. I know we even went to some, politician, like information school at one point or something like that. Tell me.
I could totally see you as our new president and me being your press secretary.
Man, I'm all in. I need to think about what my pulpit's going to be.
I'll be your Saki.
So, and it's funny, like you hear this stuff sometimes, people say, oh, you should run for politics. And I'm like, I could be the greatest tyrant of all times. You don't know. I know, that's right. No, if you know me, I'm probably not a great tyrant by any means.
You're a very fair and wonderful person.
Well, I appreciate that.
I've always thought that about you.
Well, I appreciate that. And I honestly think, when you told me that you were thinking about doing this at some point, I think it'd be a great position for you. And as a woman, talking about International Women's Month and powerful women, why would you consider doing it? I mean, are there certain things that you believe should be different? I mean, tell us a little bit about what you think.
Yeah, I'm a huge proponent of helping and support of domestic violence shelters. We don't have one in Horry County right now, and I also want a safe haven for people who are being trafficked.
Wow. Yeah.
Things like that are very, very important to me. But I'll be honest with you, and on the opposite side of the spectrum, being in the business that I'm in, I'm also wanting to protect my field and make sure that the field that we're in stays protected, because my son eventually will take over our business, and I want to leave them something, and I want to do that. And I think that that would be something that I would, kind of foster as well, is kind of make sure that I'm looking after our industry.
Yeah, no, it's an amazing
because
point.
we've been taking a lot of hit lately that I don't think is due us.
Well, I mean, we talked about this before. I mean, the end buyer is the one who always gets hurt,
Right.
And without going too deep into it, we know that in this country the price of homes just keeps going up. It keeps getting higher, and the concern always was when it's in a person's spirit to own their own place, I mean, kind of at the end of the day, you want to know you can lay your head somewhere that you own. And we're always concerned that what happens when the average person can't afford to own their own home anymore.
Right.
And now they're just paying rising rents and things. So I think that's a thing that people lose track of sometimes. That's what the Builders Association is about. We're always trying to make sure we're keeping housing affordable while still having good principles and policies.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so as far as Lesley Hill, talk to us about what you do when you're not working on gutters, running businesses, doing politics and HBAs and everything else.
Well, I love to, my biggest thing, I love interior design.
Okay.
And anybody that follows me on Instagram or Facebook, they know that's my second love. And it's something that I really, really enjoy doing. I've even said at some point that I may do that in retirement. Just for fun.
Yeah,
just for fun, because I enjoy it so much. And then my husband and I love to antique. We have a traveling we have a little RV, and sometimes we'll ride around and just go to crazy places, and we love to find great artifacts.
Okay.
That would cost like we would see somewhere for hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
And we'll find it somewhere, the same thing, actually even some that are even older, for like $10.
No way.
It just depends on where it is.
What's the best thing you've ever found when you were antiquing? I mean, or the most valuable or whatever?
I think my Mudman. I have a Mudman collection in my house.
Okay, now you're gonna have to enlighten me. What is a Mudman collection?
A Mudman. They are Chinese.
Okay.
Little men.
Okay.
That are molded and clayed and sculptured, and they're really, really unique. It's hard to find two alike.
Okay.
Every once in a while you will, and usually if you do that, it's been a mold of somebody making it vintage. Like, in other words, somebody might have made some in the 60s and 70s or something.
Yeah.
But what you want to find are the old ones.
The old Mudman.
Yeah, the old Mudman.
Is this kind of like if you buy a Beanie Baby in 2022, it's worth nothing?
Right.
But then if you get one from whatever year, they're worth something?
Yeah, they're
Okay,
worth
gotcha.
something. It's
All
kind of
right.
like that, but they're considered antiques usually. And that kind of thing. But those are fun. I like to. My husband and I collect those.
What's the average? What's a valuable Mudman go for?
Well, I've seen them go as high as like $2,000
Really?
for one of these figurines. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And
I don't have any of those.
I was going to say, and there's probably one sitting in somebody's attic right now.
I'm sure.
And they don't even know, right?
I have no clue.
When I was a little kid, okay, now I'm going to go off the script here a little.
Yeah.
When I was a little kid, have you ever heard of the Honus Wagner baseball card?
That name is familiar.
All right.
Yes,
So
my
this
son,
is
I've heard him talk about that before, I think.
So this is a 1908 baseball card, if I'm not mistaken. And Honus Wagner did this thing where he said they used to call them tobacco cards because it would come in little tobacco cans. And Honus Wagner was a big, anti-tobacco kind of a guy.
Yeah.
So he asked for them to remove all of his cards. So there were only so many really nice ones in the country, like mint condition ones. And you kept hearing these stories when I was a little kid, a baseball card collector. They would be like, I found a Honus Wagner, in my warehouse or something. So I mean, by God, I searched every freaking old person's house I could find. I never found a Honus Wagner baseball card. God dang it, man. Hey, but I got to tell you, those things are worth like $1 million or something. I think that's
absolutely
probably way more than that now.
It's crazy, the stuff and the things that you can find. So yeah, I do like to do that.
If you find a Honus Wagner baseball card while you're antiquing, will you just call me?
I will.
Let me know.
Actually, Rob, I might even buy it for you.
I've got a smaller budget than $1 million, but
yeah,
somewhere around $100.
I'm going to call you and say, Rob, call Martin.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, there you go. That's exactly what I was asking you.
Asking for a check.
All right. So, very cool stuff. Leslie, as we get towards the back end of the show, because we could talk all day. But,
right, you and I could, for sure.
100%.
Yes.
Tell me just something that you will want your customers to know about you, your company, anything like that you think you will want them to really be out there.
Well, we're family owned and operated, and we'll be celebrating our 25th year next year.
Congratulations for that, by the way. That's amazing.
It is.
Yeah.
And we think it's pretty cool.
I mean, you started this business when you were 1 year old, I've heard.
Yeah.
Something like that?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right.
You're so nice. You are really nice, Rob.
Well,
you get nicer. The older you get, the nicer
I know,
you
man.
get.
Yeah.
Man, I can't wait to see you when you're 100.
When I was like 20, I was just out here talking insults to everybody.
I know, right? You were such a jerk back then.
Amazing, we were still friends, right?
You've always been a good guy. But yeah, and customer service is very important to us.
Yeah.
Obviously, right now we're experiencing the same thing everybody else is experiencing. We have zero help. So we do appreciate people who are very patient with us because we are really trying our best to do our best work. The one thing I will say is a lot of people don't know about our industry is that. I think a lot of times people think gutter work is easy work and that it's brainless work, and it's not.
No.
I mean, you can really mess up somebody's roof. You can really mess up their foundation. You can mess up a whole lot of stuff because anytime you're directing water, you better know where it's going, and it better be going in the right way. If you're putting up gutter, you better know how to hang it, because if you drill through somebody's shingles or something like that, that could not be good.
It's never a popular thing.
Right. So it is a skilled trade.
Yeah.
And so, obviously we will train on the job for people who are interested in that kind of, venture. But I always tell people, remember, when somebody's training you for a position, they're also training you and giving you a skilled trade. They're giving you education. So, you're not going to come out of the gate making $1,000, $2,000 a week to learn.
Yeah.
But once you learn it, you can make $1,000 to $2,000 a week.
That's
I
right.
mean, most of my guys, make anywhere from $1,500 to $2,200 a week, which is really good money. And also, we have benefits. We offer all the same benefits as the large companies do. And so, that's our biggest thing right now. I just appreciate my clients, like Monarch Roofing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who are always, you guys have, and the thing is I love loyalty, and you guys have been very loyal to us. And we've been very loyal to you.
Absolutely.
And like I said, that's one thing that is really important to us as a company is we like to do business with people who are loyal and honest. And we try to do in kind. Same thing.
I appreciate a couple of things you said there. One of them really spoke to me is that, look, we're in an industry where there's a lot of non-quality competition that comes out. People just want to get into this stuff and underestimate how hard it is to run a business and do things properly.
Absolutely.
You said, asking customers to have a little bit of patience sometimes. And what we mean is the customer's king. We all care about our customers.
Absolutely.
But to understand that, there are some bad contractors out there, but when you find the good ones, we do want to do the right thing. And materials are hard to come by now.
That's right.
Labor is hard to come by. But a lot of times I tell people, I don't want to make you the guinea pig while I hire another employee just to get you done a little faster.
That's exactly right. Because let me tell you, I know you guys have been on the opposite end of that, and I have too. And now, I always tell people it's, well, I can't use that word online, but anyway, it's it's all
and giggles. Use the B word again on me.
Listen, it's all and giggles till somebody giggles and
Yeah, that's right.
all I'm going to say.
I think,
and you don't want anybody umping on your house.
I think I'm reading you right, loud and clear. I'm reading the PG version of you, real loud and clear. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, because the thing is, and that's what I tell people. Look, I would rather send my husband, my son, Mike, to take care of this right now than to send a new guy that we've only had on the job for a couple weeks who really doesn't even know a downspout from an elbow.
Yeah.
And so it might take a little longer, but I always tell people when you wait for something, usually it's worth the wait.
Absolutely.
So if somebody can do something super fast for you and they can get you in the next week, then you better check it.
Yeah, got to check that out a little bit.
Especially I think in today's climate, really.
100%. And also just a good shout out. You are hiring, and it sounds like you take care of your employees, and that's an important thing.
We do, and so are you all. I know 100%. You guys are too, big time. And I love your ads, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Yeah,
awesome.
We've been working hard.
We've been copying them.
Shout out to the marketing team over there. Anyway.
Y'all are bigger. Y'all are a little bigger than us, but we don't have our marketing team or Megan.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Who is also the office admin, the GM, the plans girl.
Okay, all right.
She is. I tell her all the time. She's the master. What's the master of all trades, or whatever. But she does everything. And so if you call our office, that's who you'll usually get is Megan or Crystal. We have Crystal now too. Is pretty.
Now, by the way, I mean, my gosh, you're hitting some gold here. So International Women's Month.
Yeah.
SunCoast Gutters. You just named like 3 women that are just running stuff.
That listen. We put the women and let me say this to you too. We are also hiring women installers. Man. My husband ran up on a few the other day, some women who were actually installing gutter. They do their own thing.
Nice.
And Daryl said, I said, oh my gosh. And he said, yeah, well, they were doing their own thing, but I told them if they ever decided wanted to move over. I said, listen, if women can do it, there's lots of women doing that kind of stuff. There are lots of women carpenters that are amazing. Listen, HGTV has done wonders in that arena for women, I think. And they've shown us that we can pick up a hammer and do something too. So if you're a woman and you want to learn how to hang gutter and you think you got what it takes, come see me.
I love it. Lesley, good tips. It's been great having you on the show today.
Oh, I've enjoyed it.
Always a lot of fun. And you'll have to come back and see us again sometime soon.
Oh, Rob, anytime.
All right. Sounds good. Well, it is International Women's Month. This is Rob Clemons signing out with Crown and Connections. We'll see you guys next time.